Okay, you've heard of the phrase, there's no such thing as negative publicity or bad publicity, right? Yeah, well, let me just show you how this actually just played out in real time for me. So recently, TikTok kept feeding me clips of think pieces that have been made about Kadeen and Deval. I'm so sorry. But anyway, it's just pieces from their podcasts. And most of what I saw just felt super incomplete. All these hot takes and controversial opinions, sound bites, clickbaits. That's really what it felt, just tiny moments. And I noticed something. Okay, I'm watching all these clipped moments, right? And I'm just like everybody else in the comment section forming an opinion of these people that I don't even know from Adam. So I was like, okay, well, let me pause here because I like to do that when I already start jumping to conclusions, especially if the conclusions are negative. And I'm like, okay, well, let me actually just go and investigate. So I started yesterday before my 4 hour drive today, and I started watching their older videos because I wanted to actually go and see the entirety of those clipped moments. And I watched those videos first in totality, and I was hooked. So on my drive here, the 4 hours that I was driving, I was listening to their more new, I guess their newer stuff, Ellis Ever After, the podcast on Apple Podcasts. And that's something actually I don't even do. Not that I don't like podcasts, but usually on my drive here, I make this drive maybe once or twice a month. I'm usually doing it in silence, which is crazy. I know, I like to think. But anyway, what I found that was super interesting is that what TikTok, I guess, thought was doing in making them seem like a negative anti-couple goals really backfired because when I really dug deep and went down this rabbit hole of getting to know who this Ellis family is and why they're so controversial right now, I truly saw a real family. The chemistry felt genuine. They have a lot of accountability amongst themselves. They have a genuine willingness to showcase all of the mess that comes with the type of relationship that is associated with monogamous, marriages. And, but not just that, right? There's also a level of maturity that's peeking through. Actually, I don't even think it's just peeking. It's very loud because they're living out loud. They're showing us everything, the mess, the good, the bad, the ugly, but it's of course for content's sake, what's being clipped and shown on social media is the bad or whatever, all taken out of context. So I went from seeing them as content in that moment to seeing them as humans. I mean, I guess it didn't happen in one instance, but the fact that I was curious enough to just go and peek behind the closed doors or behind the curtain, man, it shifted everything for me. And I really became a fan. And the point that I'm trying to make is like the negative clips or whatever, they're they're just an entry because whether you're whatever you're doing work, there's going to be good and bad publicity, regardless of who you are. But what really matters, right, is when somebody comes seeking for more information, because some will and some, want the NPCs in the comment section that I was already swallowing and accepting whatever opinion they were forming of them without knowing them truly. Those people will exist, but that's with anything. But those who want to go and peek behind the curtain and actually see the work that you're doing, the way that you're going to be able to keep their attention and convert them into a fan, essentially alchemizing all that negative press or whatever, is by truly creating content that is true and authentic and yeah, like genuine, right? And that's what's going to cultivate a genuine connection, right? And I don't know, I'm not trying to be too deep or whatever, but I guess the real lesson here is it's still I don't know, it's still a connection, right? So, no, I don't think that we should chase controversy, but I do think that we should build the types of systems because I would very much appreciated that I was able to find a lot of their content. So they really like built that system of making sure that everything is in one place or easily accessible. So yeah, just essentially like make sure that you have your story straight and that they're strong enough and there's a system already built around them enough so that when people do cross that doorway, essentially, like I did, with this family, that what they're able to discover is something real enough for them to stay. And yeah, that has to do with transformation in a sense, because from negative publicity, now they have a genuine loyal fan, right? And all because there was more to see when I walked through that doorway. So yeah, don't take everything that you see on social media for face value. Seriously, guys, like don't take everything with a grain of salt and do the due diligence. And that's on, I guess, content consumption side. And then on the content creation side, just make sure as you're creating content that there's a lot of um, authenticity behind it because it does build over time. Because these videos that have been clipped of the Ellis family that are circulating right now, these are from like 5, 6, 7 years ago. These are really old videos. So yeah, I went down that rabbit hole. I watched the over a decade old videos and I made my way to present day 2026. And yeah, there is coherence there. There is a journey there. There's a true story that they're telling. And it's a story that's worth telling. It's one that actually deserves to be heard. So I appreciate them. Shout out to y'all. I don't doubt you'll ever see this, but I'm truthfully a fan. Love the transparency. A lot of what you guys are actually saying needs to be heard. And some things even made me stop and think. And I don't claim to be a know it all, but especially when you guys, those ones that are circulating where people are in the comment section saying, oh, you could never beat this information out of me. Or, man, I can't believe I thought these were couple goals. Like, guys, shh. Like those, like the original video that these clips are coming from, yeah, they need to be heard actually. So, really, the negative publicity in this context is a good thing because it will make the content circulate faster. And, those who need to have the conversation will be a part of the conversation that needs to be had. So, yeah, thanks, guys.